How is it going, everyone? I'm Laser, and in today's video I wanted to share with you a project I have recently started. After watching countless hours of pros in the industry making their own custom mechanical keyboard, I decided to try it out myself. I've watched Taya Types, Tay Keyboards and Wildcat doing it on their YouTube channels, and I really like the effects, like the looks of the keyboards and the way they sound. And finally I've decided it's time, after countless hours spent on YouTube, to try it out myself. And this will be an ongoing project where I take the Glorious GMMK Compact and try to turn it into really something special, something unique, something that will match my preferred style. So if you're into mechanical keyboards and you want to learn more about building mechanical keyboards, I recommend that you subscribe for the channel, because there will be more videos covering just this topic in the nearest future. It's also worth noting that the early stages of building your own mechanical keyboard, it's all about trying out different stuff, different switches, different keycaps. It will take a while, but in the end you should be pretty familiar with how different switches behave, whether they're linear, tactile, or clicky, and which switch is your preferred choice. Also, you will learn how to loop different kind of switches, how to loop stabilizers. So I strongly recommend that you approach this like a long-term project where you don't really, just want to build your own mechanical keyboard right away from scratch. And this is why I think it's so important to get a modular one, because it will allow you to more easily change various types of switches. Try out linear ones, try out tactile ones, try switches from Gatheron or Kale, and find your preferred style. Glorious sells a variety of keyboards ranging from full size to compact, 60% layout. You can also choose whether you want a pre-built model with switches and keycaps included, or maybe a bare bones where those aren't provided and you need to get them yourself. If you're completely new to the subject, I suggest getting a pre-built version, as it should, first of all, save you some money, and second of all, it will let you get to modding right away. The pre-built keyboards come with pre-installed Gatheron browns in them, which are a tactile switch and a good starting point. Another advantage the keyboard gives to newcomers is that it's fully modular, top mounted and hot swappable, and saves you time and effort on soldering and desoldering your switches. While soldering isn't rocket science, it still takes time to learn and master, and the soldering gear costs a bit as well. This is important because each time you want to try a different switch, you won't need to desolder it to take it out and solder back in the new one. You just take out the old ones and replace it with a new one. You can choose from a variety of switches: Gatheron, Cherry MX or Kale, and Glorious even provides a sample box with 14 different switches from Gatheron and Kale, which I recommend picking up if you want to find your preferred switch style. The keycaps on the GMMK Compact are double shot ABS and match the color of the keyboard. You can easily replace them with any other keycap to match your preferred style, but we will not focus on that in this video. The keyboard has RGB lighting on it, so if you're planning on changing the keycaps, it's probably worth looking for ones with a see-through font to let the RGB light through the cap. At this point, I wanted to mention one thing that somewhat bothers me when it comes to keycaps. Some of them have uneven lighting, showing something like a darker stains over the keycaps where the light is going through. You can see it on the screen right now. Of course, it's not something major and won't affect the performance of the device, but I still think you should be aware of it before buying. The keyboard itself is well built with aluminum top plate and plastic bottom plate. There is also a dampening foam inside, which should help with the acoustics of the board. It's also pretty heavy, but that's due to the included metal weights, which add that additional heft to it. But if you want something more light, you can just open the case and remove them. The stabilizers in this keyboard are factory looped, but in the future videos we'll see if we can tune them for better sound and maybe even replace them with something that better. The accessories that come with the keyboard include a braided cable as well as a keycap and switch puller. While the switch puller is fine, I think you should consider replacing the keycap puller with something better, like the wire style pullers, which are less likely to scratch or damage your keycap. The cable matches the color of the keyboard, which is a nice attention to detail from Glorious. On the back of the keyboard you will find a slot to hold your keycap puller, as well as rubber pads and adjustable legs. You also get an additional set of rubber pads in case you need to replace the old ones. Now let's hear how the keyboard sounds in stock configuration. So as you can hear, there are some pinging sounds and some scratching sounds, but they're mostly coming from the unlooped gutter-on browns, and I believe that after we loop the switches, the acoustic experience should be much better. When it comes to the looks of the GMMK, it's all down to personal taste. I really like how the aluminum plate looks with the white keycap and cyan lights, but if you want something more muted, you can pick up the black version. I also like the artistic touch from Glorious. Each time you plug your keyboard to your PC, you will see an animation just like you see right now. Never gets boring. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I really like this keyboard because it's a great starting point for someone who's just starting with custom mechanical keyboards. You have everything here. You have the switches, you have the keycaps. And basically, if you want to experiment, you can do it very easily because this keyboard is fully modular, which means that you can basically replace everything that has been included in the stock configuration. And since it's a hot swappable keyboard, the switch replacement process is really easy. You just take it out of your PCB. There is no soldering required, so it's nice and easy and really helpful for someone who is just starting out and wants to experiment a bit more with different kinds of switches, different kinds of keycaps, and maybe different kinds of stabilizers. And this is the main buying point for me. I just want to learn how to mod your keyboard, how you can make it sound better, how you can loop the switches, how you can loop the stabilizers, and I think this is a very good starting point. Oh yeah, and since it's a 60% layout, you can save on the switch price in the long run. You don't have to get as many switches as for the full-size keyboard or for the TakeL. So this is also a nice bonus for anyone who is just starting out. If by any chance you don't like Glorious or this specific keyboard, you can choose from variety of other keyboards from Ducky or from HyperX or from other big manufacturers because they've also decided to jump on the bandwagon of custom mechanical keyboards and provide something of their own. So right now I think it's much easier to find something that will suit your needs and something that you will really like. Alright, that's it for today's video. If you want to learn how to loop switches, how to tune stabilizers, and how to mod the GMMK Compact, subscribe to the channel because there will be more videos regarding that topic. Thank you for watching. I'm Laser and I'll see you soon.